name's Dustin Anderson, and over the next little bit, I'm going to be talking to you about negative self-talk. We've all had those internal conversations, that little voice inside our head saying, we're not good enough, we're not going to be successful, you're going to fail, it's too hard, why even try? These thoughts are normal for everyone, but what we do when these thoughts pop up will greatly determine our success or our failure with any task or goal. This internal conversation can be thought of as negative self-talk. Negative self-talk is any type of internal conversation that doesn't empower you to reach your goal. Like many of you, I've had these conversations before in my own head, but it wasn't until I went through a life-changing event that I got a greater understanding of the effects of negative self-talk and how to combat those. In the fall of 2006, I received a letter from the university that I was attending, and it was a letter stating, hey, we no longer want you at this university for poor academic performance. It wasn't an easy letter to read, but it would turn out to be one of the best things that ever happened to me. So sort of my road to understanding negative self-talk actually started on my way back home. I was trying to process getting kicked out of the university. I was blaming everyone and everything for me not being successful. I got into the university, so I expected that I was going to graduate just on that fact alone. It wasn't till about a year of being out of the school that I really had a good internal conversation and started to think about the events that led to me getting kicked out of that university. One of the first things that I did was to write a list of, my goals, my life goals, then to write a list of what I did at the university. And as you can guess, the two lists didn't match up. This wasn't a surprise, but it didn't make me happy at the same time. So I wanted to ask the question, why did I fail? So then I started looking into my actions to a deeper extent. While I was at the university, what I was doing, was I going to class, was I studying enough? And the answer was no. So I came to the conclusion that my life goals and my actions didn't match. But again, it didn't answer my question, why did I fail? Then I was coming home from work one day and I had an aha moment or a eureka moment, if you would like to use that one. I started to think about what was my mindset while I was at the university. I thought about that for 2 or 3 days, and what I found out was that I always said I wanted to graduate college, but I never told myself that I can. And that was a hard concept to grasp. You figure if you go to college that you want to graduate, or you can tell yourself that you can, but I never told myself that I could. Then I started to really take a good internal look at my thoughts while I was at that school. I never really had a positive thought. I never went to a test saying, hey, I'm going to do well. Yes, I got this assignment. I never really had a positive thought while I was there. So understanding this, I wanted to do some research, do some reading on how to get my mind on my side. So for the next 6 months to a year, I read everything I could on leadership, mental toughness, training your mind, anything that had to do with a positive attitude or leadership. I started reading it, and I found an underlying theme. You had to have your mind on your side if you're going to be successful at any goal. And that's when I was really introduced to the concept of negative self-talk. And like I said before, negative self-talk is anything that doesn't empower you to reach your goal. And some ways that I've found that's been beneficial to me to help with negative self-talk is actually understanding that you're in that negative loop. So what's your internal dialogue? Are you having thoughts that are empowering you, or ones that are not? And a lot of people don't think about that, and it takes some training. So if you feel like you're frustrated, angry, hopeless, you take a step back and actually see what you're thinking at that point in time. And once you start to understand what you're thinking, you can start to redirect your mind to be on your side. Some of the ways that I like to do it are with mantras. Mantras are anything that get you pumped, get you back on track. Some of my favorite ones are "It Pays to Be a Winner," "Do Today What Others Won't," to do tomorrow what others can't. Those are two of the best ones that I have. And the one I like the most is "You May See Me Suffer, but You'll Never See Me Quit." So it took a while for me to really work those into my everyday life with tasks and everything else. But when I started doing that, I really got that feeling I could get myself back onto a positive track, get my mind back to the right direction. So fast forward 6 years from that point, I'm back in school, I'm getting my master's, and the power of the mind is a good thing, but you have to know when you're stuck in a negative loop, and you have to be able to pull yourself back, give yourself an honest assessment, and find ways to help yourself be successful, be positive, and again, get your mind on your side.